This is the Crookedrivercast, and who's that? Well, of course, that's Rob and Tom. There's two guys from Northeast Ohio just trying to keep track of this great state. This is show 64 for the week of June 8th, 2026. Oh boy, this is going to be a good one. Let's see if we can make it through. Let's go. This could go two ways, one of two ways, Tom. As people may notice, I'm a little under the weather. I figured it could be a total disaster. May have already been. Or I could be my flu game.
Your flu game?
Yeah. My Michael Jordan flu game, game 5. I think game 5 of the finals, Michael Jordan had the flu and he decided to play. And
he hit that last second shot, right?
He dropped 38 points.
That's about right. That's Jordan on a flu day.
I've already had my first foul, and it was only the first 3 seconds of the show, so I'm not sure if I'm on the Michael Jordan path just yet. But hey, we're gonna push through. So yeah, some scumbag at Kings Island got me sick. I'm convinced. Yeah, little germs. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at the hantavirus symptoms and thinking, I could check a few of those off. Huh. Where'd those people go? Are they checking those? Did any of them go to the Cincinnati area in the last week? I'm blaming Cincinnati.
I think we should all blame Cincinnati.
It's close to Canada.
For everything.
But I mean, it was nice. It's, you know what the best thing is after you come back from vacation?
What's
sick.
that?
Getting sick.
Getting sick?
Yeah, it's the best thing in the world. But yeah, Cincinnati was nice though.
That's cool.
I was a little bit shocked, actually.
Yeah, you didn't see any stabbings or anything like that?
No, I did not see any stabbings.
I did see some racial fights.
I did see some. No, I was not down in this downtown past dark.
Okay.
I'm not that stupid. But I did see quite a few homeless people as we did our food tour through Cincinnati.
You did a food tour through a homeless section?
No, actually, not the homeless section. Just the middle of Cincinnati, in the nice section of Cincinnati. No, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, because I was expecting to see encampments and tents. It wasn't that. It was just your normal, to me, it was just your normal city homeless dude. Got a sign, some guy down in the median down the block from the intersection, ranting and raving, going back and forth. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to keep an eye on that guy. That kind of typical stuff.
Signs like, I don't need money, I don't need food, I need drugs.
No, they don't. No.
When I lived in Hollywood, there was a street guy that had a sign like that.
At least he's honest.
Yeah.
At least he was honest. You give him a $5 just for that. But here's what I did notice about Cincinnati. They've got that little slice of the Ohio River. They've got a waterfront. Yes, they've got a waterfront. They can't even go in the water. Like they can't. You really can't even go in the. I mean, you'll go. I don't think they go swimming in the river. And they've developed that riverfront. So we walked down, did this food tour, and Cincinnati's got a huge German population. Had one, still does. Huge section compared to Columbus. Cincinnati is way nicer as far as architecture and stuff. It's just. Well, it's actually quite nice. I was, again, shocked and surprised, pleasantly. So we go down, we go through the tour, we start up in the Germantown, we go down to the river. One side of us is Paycor Stadium, where the Bengals play, and then the other side of us is Great American Ballpark, so where the Reds play. In between there is, I don't know, it's a couple miles of riverfront. It's grassy hills. There's people sitting under trees reading books. There's kids playing. They have these huge stainless steel swings, like bench swings lined up. There's like 10 of them.
Sounds like a portrait.
I literally am going, holy crap! What have they done with very little? Look at what they've done with very little.
And look what we can do with
and look what Cleveland can do. Nothing. 50 years of nothing. That's why I give Cincinnati some credit. Through all their corruption, they've found a way to do something at least. I mean, why their ballpark? Because they had a game going on while we're doing the food tour. It started like halfway through our tour. And we kind of got down that right as it started and going in by the ballpark and the way they have it laid out with there's this big alleyway. You go down to Cleveland and you see the courtyard between the ballpark and the arena, and it's just empty. You have this area where people can gather before the game, and they don't have that, but they have a street that they've turned into just a pedestrian street. It's like directly across from the entranceway, and it's like, this is really cool, and it's packed before the games, and so it's like I don't know. I was surprised.
What type of food tour is there in Cincinnati?
Oh, kind of. They had 6 different places. We had she kept going back and forth. A sweet and a savory.
Was it like an actual tour?
Oh yeah, we did this in Phoenix too.
Oh, okay.
It was a really cool way. Actually, thanks for bringing that up, because there's a really cool way of seeing a city, especially if you have a good tour guide. And we've did this company twice called Secret Food Tours, and they're not in every city, but they take local people who's been there a while, and they take you on a walking tour of the city. And we did this in Phoenix. And hey, did you know there's miles of tunnel underneath Phoenix that Al Capone made when he was running? Yeah, when he was running. And the University of Phoenix used them for decades. I think they had to collapse, so they don't use them. You can still go down there, but not just anybody. I think the students used to use them, or maybe they still do, something like that.
To get between class,
yeah, something storage and there's a couple. But so that's how we know there's a big German population in Cincinnati, because we started out in this open market, and it was a Sunday, so there was all these, they had outside vendors. It was a beautiful day. So they make geta, which is very local, she said, and it's a breakfast sausage, but they mix like steel cut oats or something in it.
Okay, I don't think it's just bratwurst with something else.
I don't know, but no, it was actually really good. The crispy, because of the oats that gets crispy. I was just saying, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich like that was pretty cool. Hey, my picky 11-year-old liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Nice.
See what else? Grater's Ice Cream is Cincinnati, and I actually worked for grandson of the founders of Grater's Ice Cream when I was like 20. That place is really good. Homemade ice cream. They still make them in like 2-gallon pots. And
I've never had it yet.
Yeah, Kroger's, you can get, they're distributed by Kroger's. Kroger's is a Cincinnati place. It's the country's largest grocery distributor. Holy cow! Stop me. The cold medicine is getting to me, Tom. Cold medicine. Anyway, Cincinnati's pretty cool. For all the crap that we give it. I thought it was pretty cool. Again, I wasn't there after dark because I'm not an idiot. An idiot. So I think we'll start the show off kind of similar like we did last week, Tom, because it's a big month. It's Gay Pride Month. and again, I think we'll start it off with a warning. It's a warning. So if you've gone downtown this weekend, this is coming off this Monday, but if you went, it's a downtown. When I mean downtown, I mean any downtown around the country. You may have been surprised, but if you throw out this month, if you see an overabundance of rainbow flags, you may want to steer clear. It's quite close to steer clear, but let's hear from our buddy Mr. Schneider on Gay Pride Month. Maybe, I don't know, he thinks it's maybe a little greedy.
I'm all for Gay Pride, Gay Weekend, Parade. I will say Gay Pride Month seems a little greedy. It's a month. We only get 12. Basically 11, because then it's Gay Pride Month again. 4 weeks in a row. They don't even try to break that shit up. Have a week in January, come back in April after you healed up, and then August, who gives a shit? August, who cares, And then New Year's, New Year's, who has a sucker dick on New Year's, frankly? Come on, live your life. Don't cheat yourself. 4 weeks in a row. We get Veterans Day. You fight for the country, you get a day. Thank you for fighting for the country. Oh, sorry, day's over. Take the meat off the barbecue. That's it. You get a day. That's it. Day. Thank you for fighting for the country. Memorial Weekend. You die for the country. They give you a weekend. Thank you for dying for the country. Take the boat out of the lake and put it on. Take the boat out of the lake and put it on the truck. You get a weekend. Memorial Weekend. Thank you for dying for the country. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, kept the Union together, gets a day.
Not really.
Not even his own day. He's got to share it with George Washington, who founded the whole fucking country. He doesn't get a day either. He's got to share it with Lincoln. But if they would have sucked each other's dicks, they would have got a whole month. That's all I'm saying. I know it's not possible because Lincoln was so tall.
Sorry, Rob. I don't know if Rob knows this. I do have to take issue. George Washington, very tall. So
Yes.
very tall. may not have made a difference. So yes, Gay Pride Month is officially fully in swing. There's stories all over the place that I passed on. What are you going to do? So, but, Tom, what is going on in California?
Probably what Rob was just talking about. No?
No. What do you, no.
Okay.
What's going, what's going, have you ever been following what's going on in California? No. I've been a little sick. I've seen a little headlines, but I wasn't sure if you had looked into it at all.
Oh, I didn't see the links
thing,
here.
LA, not Cal. Yeah, well, it's California.
Oh, they're just rigging the election. They're just finding votes here and there.
Well, I mean, we would like to consider both sides of it, all the sides of it, many sides of the argument. And in this case, let's hear from a quote from our lovely Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, who says, this was posted by T. Ricky. It's a quote, I guess. I was trying to find a clip of it, but I couldn't, of course. She says, Republicans are trying to rig elections by only letting U.S. citizens vote.
I don't think that's a real vote. I think it's just, it's kind of like
paraphrase.
Yeah. It's what she said, but she didn't say it that way.
She didn't say it. Well, here's the little bit that I saw. I mean, it's oddly familiar, and I can't quite place where I've heard this before. But for a candidate that's been averaging 30% of the vote, it's not possible for that candidate to then get 0% out of a ballot drop of 24,000 votes.
Yeah.
Where have I heard
not
that?
even 0%. I mean, he got 0 votes out of
0 votes. Yeah, not even 0%. It wasn't even like rounded down. He got 0 votes. Where have I heard that before? I can't. Man, I can't. It's not to tip my tongue. Okay. Election deniers. So yeah, I guess they're having issues. It may take weeks to count the Los Angeles mayoral vote. Weeks. That's what I heard.
Well, they're still picking up the ballots.
They're still dropping them off by helicopter. There's a clip of somebody filming their TV of a news broadcast. Of, the guy on the scene is like, we're waiting for a chopper to come down and drop another ballot. So once it gets in that ballot, once those ballots go off the chopper, all of a sudden they go back to the studio and say, oh, sorry, we've had technical difficulties. Now, maybe they did have technical difficulties, but they were explaining how they were going to deliver ballots by helicopter so they can go into a van to go count them. Helicopter. It's L.A. Mm-hmm. I know LA's a big city, but why a helicopter?
It's a large county. I think it's big. Yeah.
Come on, weeks. You got to use helicopters. I mean, how far is it away from them? I mean, you could probably get a helicopter from the Mexican, somewhere in Mexico to get people to vote. Anywho, so there's that. So keep an eye on this is a prelude to what's coming up in November. And maybe they're showing their cards now. I don't know. So they're going to be investigations or something. I don't know. Check it out. I heard Trump's all over it. I was going to look up Trump quotes, but I never did. I'm blaming the cold medicine. Speaking of colds, it appears that on this story from Fox 8, NIH, National Institute of Health, is that NIH? Yeah. Researchers from that organization have been charged with trying to smuggle in monkeypox. And holy crap, Tom! I can check 2 out of the 3 symptoms.
Yeah?
Yeah, spread through close contact. Symptoms include fever, headaches. I've had both of those in the last 2 days.
Oh,
I haven't had any rashes yet. So.
You know, dude, I thought it was something else. I was starting to get worried because I've been having urges of throwing fecal matter at kids and jerking off in front of their grandmothers.
You have?
Yeah. I thought I had monkeypox.
Wow. I got to watch out for that. Those are the signs I
thought they were, but apparently not. Now I'm really worried.
Apparently not. So yeah, very, very strange that members of the National Institute of Health would be smuggling in monkeypox. What possibly could they be doing that for? Obviously for money. To be honest with you, I don't know much about this story. Because I was like, why? They tested 20 of the 113 vials and found 17 contained inactive monkeypox virus.
Inactivated. So I don't know what that means.
And 1 contained inactivated chickenpox virus.
So does that mean like you can activate it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I am not a doctor. Yeah, that's really all the story is. There haven't gone much other than that.
I have a feeling this stuff goes on all the time.
Yeah, but they selling it? Who are they selling it to? That seems to be the only why would they smuggle it in to risk, your career at an NIH? Like money would be. I don't know. So check it out.
Didn't monkeypox? Didn't some monkeys escape from an accident a few years ago? This was like during. I forget if this was during for Trump's first or
it was something.
During Biden.
I remember video of them running out of a truck that overturned or something.
Yeah, and didn't they have monkeypox?
Something like that. Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, that was it, or they had been involved in monkeypox testing. Say that 10 times fast. Something to that effect. But yeah, I mean, really.
Move on! Nothing to see here! Please disperse!
That's the moral of the story. Please disperse. All right. That's that. Next, we're going to continue on. Apparently, Ohio and the feds are announcing indictments on the Medicaid fraud. Now, this is awfully fast, if you ask me. But let's hear from, our friend Morgan. Morgan at the, yes, our friend Morgan who, they're unproven and apparently they still are. So let's hear what she says.
A major Medicaid fraud bust announced here in Ohio. Good evening, I'm Katie Houston.
And I'm Damon Maloney. State and federal officials, they stood side by side today to announce charges against people accused of billing Medicaid but not providing services. Your Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trow was there. So Morgan, this comes after a month of scrutiny on the system from many State House Republicans.
Damon and Katie, yeah, that's right. Ohio Republicans have been alleging that there is rampant fraud within the Medicaid system. And right now, we have these federal officials fly in to announce some indictments, but also to offer other help.
Ohio is facing some of the most significant fraud schemes in the country.
Federal and state officials are joining together in a new effort to combat fraud of all kinds. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche and other senior law enforcement officials shared plans about a new data sharing agreement.
I want to emphasize something about what the cases that we're bringing represent. A unified, statewide fraud-fighting effort that's firing on all cylinders.
And the officials also announced several major indictments, federal and state charges against 9 defendants for allegedly defrauding the government of $42 million through Medicaid billing or COVID programs.
In both cases, The defendants, we allege, were exploiting families, supposedly providing kids with particularly behavioral services enrolled in community programs.
The state also says that it's suspending 49 healthcare providers for what it calls potential red flags in their billing patterns and stopping government checks until it finishes the investigation. And while the feds praise Ohio's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit is one of the gold standard control units for fighting fraud in the United States, state politicians have been sharing a different story and have been calling out Governor Mike DeWine for allegedly failing to oversee Medicaid crimes.
It's a system that's broken that we need to address in the very near term. It's something that we need leadership in place to make sure that we're taking this issue seriously.
Lieutenant Governor.
I reported on Republicans' Medicaid concerns back in May and how those surfaced after conservative outlet The Daily Wire published a story alleging rampant yet unproven claims of fraud. We have some legislative leaders who have said that Governor Mike DeWine, who is notably absent from this event, and Attorney General Dave Yost have been asleep at the wheel when it comes to fighting Medicaid fraud. Where is the disconnect between the federal officials and the state officials?
Well, I'm not going to speak to what state officials here have said. I guess a local politician can talk, but then we can have people that actually do and act, and I'll take the do and act over just somebody talking any day.
Yeah, I kind of like that last comment.
Mm-hmm.
He was not there protecting DeWine. He was there.
But DeWine wasn't even invited to this.
No.
Oh, is he one of the 9 indicted?
No, he's not.
Oh, damn it.
No. They have not yet. They've not released those names, and I can't believe they've already arrested some of these people. That's very quick. I'm thinking these are some things that are already in place.
It could be, and if I think this is the tip of the iceberg. I think we've said that before. Yeah. If the feds are coming after you, they're not going to indict people that they don't think they can.
Yeah. U.S. attorneys generals have very high conviction rates, so they don't mess around, and they like those high conviction rates. Most attorney generals do, and it actually a lot of times comes into a lot of corruption in a lot of cases where they'll do BS to keep their, when they get involved in a case they may lose, so on and so forth. But
yes,
and what I've noticed though is as I didn't do a whole lot of searching throughout the week because my schedule and then the hantavirus that I have, the media is, where's the media at? There's one story. News 5 has a story. There's probably a couple other ones on some other sites, but it's not just this story. I could think of there's 3 or 4 different sets of fraud allegations in Ohio. There's Medicaid, there's daycare fraud, there's transportation fraud,
autism.
Yes, part of it. Yeah, autism. Split that one off. Also, like there's Medicaid fraud as far as the home health care aides. There's Medicaid fraud as far as eligibility to be on Medicaid, which was the original one we talked about with Duvilla, whatever it was, from like earlier in the year, when he was saying there could be $6 billion of this fraud. Yep. Probably not, I would say, but a couple billion. No. Where are the stories?
There's a story by Morgan Trout trying to say it's unproven.
Yeah.
I mean, have you noticed? I just noticed it this week. But whenever she says alleged but yet unproven, she's talking about the Daily Wire report. I think she
keep an eye on that, actually.
I think she has a thing about like the Daily Wire breaking this, like it's not real.
Well, yeah, she's
I don't know.
mainstream.
Is she jealous of it, of them, or is she just upset because somebody from out of state uncovered it?
Oh, well, to me, one and the same. She's jealous because another reporter, what she wouldn't even consider to be a reporter, probably because they're not part of they're not part of ABC, CBS,
right?
They're just this online thing. Yeah, the online thing that's kicking your ass.
The online thing that's having has more viewers and
more money and more reach and more power. Yeah, that's them. Go look at their social media accounts and see how much feedback compared. I know. That's one of the large things I've noticed doing this show is like the local. There's many stories that get put on like X or something like that that nobody comments on.
Nobody comments on it, and even the okay, let's see here. Fox News put something up here about an hour ago. There's only 200 views, and that just means somebody's scrolling by. It doesn't even mean somebody clicked on it. Yeah, it's pretty sad, actually.
I mean, you would think, I know they're not going to have a ton, but if they had 20,000 viewers, 50,000 viewers, that really, a lot of that tells you is the demographic of their viewers is very skewed to boomer, older, people not on social media as much.
Yeah, Morgan talks to 70 plus.
Yes.
Mostly.
For the most part.
And she probably lays down in bed and cries herself to sleep.
I mean, in this video, she looked really good in this video. I mean,
I think she's hot. I don't know.
She got a little too much in the grill for me, but other than that,
she's got large teeth.
Yeah, that's funny.
Something about her smile is weird, but
yeah,
she's pretty good looking.
Got large teeth that are too large for your mouth. It happens.
Yeah, like a horse.
But sometimes she has this wet look. She's doing this, like
with her hair.
Just got out of the shower. It's like, can you dry your hair before you get on camera, please?
Yeah,
I know she's not. That's like a look she's doing, but it's like, ugh. Anyway.
Yeah.
She's, she's.
I think I've said this before. I'm shocked that she doesn't try to do a little bit more, like, instead of, I guess, be a little bit more of an influencer type reporter instead of just straight reporter from ABC.
I don't know how much she can do under contract and stuff. But
that's true. That's true. But wouldn't you want her to have more of a following?
Yeah.
If I was ABC, I'd be like, hey, get on Instagram and start showing us, sharing what you're up to instead of just kind of like lame reporting.
Maybe they don't want to encourage another Tucker.
Oh, she's not no Tucker.
Well, yes, in many ways, in many, many ways. But I'm just saying that he got big enough that when they got rid of him, he kind of didn't. He just kept going.
But it took him how many decades?
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Let's continue on. So Yost was at this press conference they had. So the Dr. Oz, there's a couple other people there, and oddly enough, not Mike DeWine. And Yost has said, well, I mean, hey, thanks for paying attention. This has never happened before. Let's listen to him from the press conference. Oh, yeah, just so you know, this clip has not been edited or slowed down in any way. This is 100% the way it sounded.
I've been engaged in this fight since I was the elected auditor of state back in 2011. Through my 8 years as auditor of state, and almost 8 years now as Attorney General, I have been doing Medicaid investigations, prosecutions. I have never had the level of interest and support from the federal government under any administration that you're witnessing here today. It's been a sometimes lonely fight against fraud, but it's no longer a lonely fight. And what's the difference? President Trump, Vice President Vance, and this team that you see arrayed here today, these senior federal officials who could be anywhere else, who have serious duties, are saying, this is the most important thing. I'm going to be here. We're putting everything on the field. I'm grateful for your commitment, and I look forward to the continued partnership as we work together for the people of this state.
So thanks, Luke. Thank Luke. He did a good job. Even when other people tried for whatever the Daily Wire, that's what did it, was their exposure of this. Seems like.
Yep.
And we had a couple different people trying to do this after Nick Shirley exposed. Crap, that was one of the things I even put it. Well, they're in the show notes. If you go to the website and check out the blog, in the show notes, you'll see a clip of Luke Rosiak. Rosiak. Oh my gosh. So anyway, sorry, Luke. He was in front of the state federal chairman or a federal fraud investigation committee. God, what's the guy's name? Chairman Gill. Is it Matt Gill or what's his freaking name? I forgot now. Anyway, we talked about him last week. So
Brandon Gill, thank you. There's I forgot to pull the clip, but there's a video clip of him up on the blog. Yeah, Brandon Gill's page. But Luke's in front of Congress, in front of the committee of this fraud committee, stating, he's being questioned. Brandon Gill's like, hey, is there any connection between this and Minnesota? He's like, oh yeah. There's relatives that go back and forth between here and Columbus and Minnesota. Then he reminds us of the $130 million that they tracked going from Columbus to Columbus to Minnesota and then out of the country in briefcases of cash. Right.
In the one example, he says there's a Somali-born person in Columbus who has got a healthcare place who hasn't been paying his taxes. So he gets
owed over $30,000.
$30,000 in taxes. So he's probably defrauding the government, and he's not paying his taxes.
So no, did you hear what he did?
Yeah, and then he went to Minnesota. Go ahead.
Right, opened up a healthcare place or whatever.
Right.
Charged over $40,000 and dissolved the company and flew back to Columbus.
Driver company flew back, probably paid his tax debt and kept on going. Went, oops, forgot I got to pay taxes. When you're defrauding the government, you probably should pay your taxes. probably will flag you if you don't. They'll flag you for.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably how he got caught, right?
That they'll flag you for. Not paying taxes, you flag you. Stealing the tax money, don't worry about it.
They're stealing it too, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then Yost was on Fox News going over a little clip here from Libs, or not a post here from Libs of TikTok, and he's talking about, there's Mercedes, they had all this money they impounded in cash, hundreds of thousands of dollars in bank account, and like 20 different cars, Mercedes.
There's a Southern District of Ohio Fraud Task Force confiscated $470,000 in 14 luxury cars. They seized, I should say.
I mean, you got to.
I don't trust Libs of TikTok. I don't know. She gets a lot of things wrong.
Yeah, this was Yost mentioned this in his.
Oh, did he? Okay.
In his interview on Fox too. Yeah, he mentioned that they're just brazen and there's Mercedes and Teslas and Vets and all this kind of stuff that they're buying, and they're just flaunting it.
I see a Ferrari in there, or a Lamborghini. No, it's a Ferrari. Yeah, some big dollar cars there.
Yeah, you be careful. The Vets look like Lamborghinis now. That's what happens when you hire somebody from Lamborghini.
You know what? That could be a Vet. You're right.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I see them all the time. I'm like,
they're great looking, man.
Yeah,
I think that's the best buy. I think it's the best buy in automotive performance right now.
It's the best Vet that they've had out in quite some time, as far as like performance and stuff, even looks and everything.
Ever, actually, as far as performance goes.
I still don't know if I'd buy one. If I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I'd probably go for some kind of used European sports car. But
no, I'd get the Vet. I think that's the best bang for your buck out of the box.
Yeah, for a new one, I guess. Yeah, I guess for new, because you can't really get something like that for under $100,000.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean.
And you could probably get a really nice one. Anyway, it's not Vet talk. So let's see here. So yeah, Ohio fraud. I got anything else on that? I think that's it. And did I press record? Yeah, I did press record. Oh, that's good. Okay. Next, check out the blog, Crooked Rivercast at crookedrivercast.com. Check out the blog every Monday. Every Monday morning when the show drops, the blog drops, and has all our stories, a lot of the clips and everything in it that we have, that we talk about on the show. You can follow along. You can comment on it. You can send us an email at crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Send us the shenanigans in your area. We'd love to hear about your local BS that's going on. And we can include it in the show if it makes sense. So we appreciate you listening. Leave a comment in your favorite podcast app. Share the show. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Moving along. And, of course, Ohio is number one. Well, we'll do this. And then we'll do this. Yay! But they're number one in student loan debt. So,
not Ohio. Is it Ohio? This is the highest nationwide. Oh, okay. It's the city, though.
A city in Northeast Ohio. Yes. Let's get to
worst in America for student loan debt.
Well, for one, you'll see how they split it up. But I mean, it's not like it's not a stretch. But they're saying like median income compared to average debt.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear from Ohio or from News Channel 5. Jeez.
When it comes to financial pressure, many college grads are feeling crushed by the weight of student loan debt. The dollar amount is staggering, almost $1.7 trillion and counting. It is now the second largest type of household debt after mortgages, even soaring past medical expenses and car payments. And one Northeast Ohio city takes the top spot where people are facing the biggest burden, according to Wallet Hub. Out of more than 2,500 U.S. cities, Ashtabula is number one for having the most student loan debt relative to its residents' incomes. Now, here's the breakdown. Adults 25 and older are carrying about $22,500 in student loan debt, which isn't very high. But the median annual income in Ashtabula is low, coming in at just about $29,000, leading to a student loan debt-to-income ratio of about 78%. That means for every dollar earned, 80 cents is going to student loan debt. I spoke with Chip Lupo at Wallet Hub about their findings and why it's so concerning.
When you have mortgages, you have car payments, you have daily expenses, student loan debt kind of gets set off to the side. And then, of course, late fees, interest charges, not to mention damage to your credit report by letting those loans go unpaid.
Lupo told me one of the goals with this new report is to encourage counties, cities, and civic organizations to find ways to reduce tuition rates and create scholarship opportunities to make college more affordable and keep graduates in communities like Ashtabula.
Hey, here's an idea. Stop guaranteeing the loans. Did you see Rogan had Caleb Hammer on?
Oh, I didn't listen to that.
He goes into a lot of this on there. Caleb Hammer, if nobody knows, he's he called himself like almost like a financial roast.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the name and I didn't know who he was and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, he's so he brings on people who he goes over their finance and just rips into them like you're lazy. He calls it and they agree to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he even says in there we have like a no-go zone. We talk about where they want, there's things they don't want to talk about. We it's fine and stuff like that. But he's like call fat bitch a fat bitch. He goes, that's what I do. Well, he's talking about student loans as one of the, car loans, student loans are two of the top things that were in debt. And so Rogan's like, yeah, I've heard stories of people on Social Security having to pay for the student loans. That's a new thing, though.
That's what, yeah.
So, it's, how about, I don't know. Again, what did he say? They looked up Harvard. So Harvard for tuition is like $70,000, $67,000. But when you include housing and all the other stuff and fees, it's basically $95,000 to $110,000 a year.
And I think a lot of students are using the loans for like dumb shit like that, like living expense. Yeah.
You can. And what Caleb brought up was, and they're being approved for loans that if they were trying to buy a $100,000 car, the bank wouldn't let them. If they were trying to buy a $120,000 house, the bank wouldn't let them. But they're letting them
and they're
sign
gambling.
Up for this. Yeah.
They're gambling with their future. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, but the banks aren't gambling. The banks are guaranteed to get their money back.
Right.
So there's no risk for the banks. So that means there's no market. There's no checks or balances. You just give it to everybody. And is it a coincidence that we had a story last week about a bill that they want to pass to make tuition free after they steal it from the wealthy? I don't know. Maybe just a coincidence. I don't know. I don't know. How about holding the schools responsible for continually increasing the rate? Oh, when they increase the That's what Caleb's also brought. It's amazing how when they increase the amount you can borrow, all the schools raise their prices.
Gee, that's coincidence.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah, you're on Social Security and you got to figure out how to pay for your. I mean, I'm sure that's somebody older who went to school, but still. Because he was saying after 40 years, they're talking about it'll be forgiven. I'm like, well, in that case, so for 40 years, you won't be able to do anything because your credit's going to be all screwed up.
It's your entire working career, right?
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah. I know people that struggle to pay 20 grand off. They're in their 40s.
It's hard to do that. You know, I mean, if you don't tighten everything up, it's hard to pay stuff off. It depends on what you make and stuff. But.
And that's what I took from that interview. Watch, it was when I listened to Amy Acton say, Ohioans are doing everything. They're doing everything correctly. Bullshit. Bull. Complete and total crap. You know why? Because he's like, he sits these people down and you're spending $1,000 a month on going out to eat. You're at between two people, they got like $4,000 or $5,000 a month in income. They're spending $1,000 a month on fast food.
Well, that's it's hard to pay off 20 grand, but those are the things you need to cut out, and you'll get through it.
$28 a day, 3 days a week would be able to, and one thing he brought up was, in the 90s, 1990, I think they brought up, the average median income was $21,000. And he said you put 2 to 5% or 5 to 10% away every year. They looked it up. They estimate between $2 and $5 million you would have had, in just a general S&P fund, because the stock market kind of went on boom. You got to really watch it. It's actually he went on boom. He's like, I don't have much sympathy for boomers. They had the best job market, best tech, and they squandered it all and spent it all. He kind of laid it on his parents. No, not everyone, but he's like, I don't have a lot of sympathy for when all you had to do was put this little bit away. But you're not disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you're not going to do it. And if you're spending
discipline, and it's also like nobody really explains that. Like people don't know
education,
what compounded interest is or anything like that.
Yeah, and they kind of went off on the schools, which I do agree on point. But I also brought up they never brought up the parents. He actually did. He said so. Caleb started with the same thing, student loan debt. He said, he's like, I went with a completely BS degree in music composition. And what was the advice from his parents? Yes, max out that credit card to buy that piano that you want. So he said, and Joe Warren's like, well, how do you educate yourself? He's like, yeah, I watched a couple YouTube channels, YouTube videos, and read a book. He goes, it's not hard. It's not a complicated thing to do. You just have to do it. So I think his show's great. It's get a little repetitive after a while, but I mean, they brought up his last viral video, which was a tranny who used state money in Colorado to get his boob job.
I need tits.
Yes, he said. I thought it was funny that when he asked why, it said, "Well, my body's priceless." Well, how much did it cost you? It was free. I guess not that priceless, huh? But they both said, see, this is what I don't like. They both said, well, I mean, if the program's there, I mean, I would use it too. Like, no, that's the point. That's part of the issue is you have to just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. So no. But yeah, he's like, unfortunately for Caleb had just written a $4 million tax check. So they went on, I'd love to pay more taxes, but when you start looking at where it's going, and Joe goes, yeah, it's going for tits. It's quite good, actually. But yeah, so I get my goal for my kids is to get out of any school what they want to do. Of the options I give them, is to leave school with no debt. I'd rather them leave school with a degree at a much lesser university and no debt than $50,000 after leaving Ohio State.
Yeah, I would never let them do that.
No, it cripples them because nowadays that stupid piece of paper gets you on the list of interviews. That's all it does. Because everybody else on that list has the same or better than you. What gets you the job is your personality and your attitude.
Well, it's important to be able to get in the running, But
yeah,
I don't think you have to have a prestigious school unless it's I guess if you're looking to be a doctor and stuff.
STEM.
Yeah.
STEM stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to be the world-class brain surgeon, you're probably not going, hey, sorry, but probably not going to be at Case. You're probably going to be at one of the big schools, if you're going to be that top surgeon or something like that. You'll probably be from India too. It's not America.
Well, there was an American that my wife and I shot their wedding. I think you might have been there assisting us, but it was, the guy was a brain surgeon. He was going to be a brain surgeon. He was I don't know what you call that after you're out of school and you're just doing a residency. Yeah. And, but yeah, I think it was like over $400,000 in student debt, something like that.
If you're going to be making,
go ahead. I think he was like on a reality show, that geek and that was it something geek and that the hottie and the geek or something like that. And he won like $250,000 and he still had a ton of,
yeah. Cause 8 years of school too, like eight years or more, you're like, cause you're talking specialties and all that. Hey, if you're going to be if your potential is to start in the multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, then being $500,000 in debt, God, that sounds like crazy. But I mean, if you're going to, in a couple of years, you're going to be making $500,000 a year, you would think you should be able to pay it off relatively quickly.
He was going to eventually be, I should look him up, but he was going to be top of in the nation, I
mean, it's still a risk because, shit happens, but
you could have an accident.
Yeah. You could have an accident. You could be a really crummy surgeon. He could graduate the bottom of his class and only make $250,000.
I went to breakfast with him. I saw him slicing up a breakfast sausage. I was like, damn, this guy's weird. The way he was cutting it up. And that was before I knew he was, going to be a brain surgeon, basically. And I just thought it was so bizarre. I have a feeling he's going to be a pretty good surgeon, just the way he was handling.
He was cutting his sausage like a brain.
Yeah, kind of. It was just bizarre. I was like, what's up with this guy? It was weird to watch. He was a strange guy anyways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
A nice guy, but just odd. I think you have to be, though.
That's kind of where I'm, yeah. I mean, I think you have to be a certain something. I mean, to be a surgeon, that's a lot of dedication, a lot of work and stuff. So a lot of knowledge, and you have to be really smart and, So next, I guess we'll go on. Oh yes, moving on to this one. So this next one really isn't about the story. So the story is Northeast Ohio. Federal funds end for fentanyl test strips as Ohio Public Health Agency supply run low. So this isn't really about the health strips, but hey, let's listen to the news story from IdeaStream and discuss.
The Trump administration stripped funding last month for drug tests that determine whether or not fentanyl or other dangerous substances are in the illegal drug supply. Columbus Public Health says they might run out, risking more overdose deaths. Overdose deaths are dropping in Ohio and around the country, but Columbus Public Health and physicians like Dr. Beth Weinstock with Equitas Health say this decision puts that trend at risk. Weinstock says the federal government backtracking support of harm reduction methods is a tragedy in the making. Her own son Eli died after accidentally ingesting fentanyl in 2021.
I feel like it's just going to hinder health departments who are there essentially to help their community, with life or death measures. And it's sad.
Columbus Public Health says that once its current stock runs dry, other sources of public health funding will have to be used, which is already being stretched by budget cuts. The agency says it's concerned people will needlessly die. George Shilcock, WOSU News.
He died of fentanyl accidentally while he was on a coke bender.
Yeah. So if you didn't catch that, these are strips they hand out to drug addicts so they can test their drugs to make sure they don't have fentanyl in it.
Yeah. Just don't do the drugs.
Thinking if you got contact with the druggie, maybe you try to get them off the drugs, not just on safer drugs like heroin and coke. So basically, they're going to, it's okay to check their drugs for other drugs. So your tax dollars are paying for drug addicts to check their drugs for other drugs. So when they overdose, at least they know what they're getting into. Okay. Moving along. What a great efficient use of our tax dollars. So I'm all for legalizing drugs only if you're willing to step over the drug addict in the alley. And, this next one is good. Kind of. It was good. I thought it was good. So next one is police chief fired after controversial ICE-related visit to Cincinnati schools. So first I'm thinking, wow, somebody's going to Cincinnati schools to check to see if the kids going there are like their parents or citizens. And then I'm really working that cough button today, Tom. And then I started looking into it a little bit, and I'm like, oh, wait, because did you read this much into this, Tom?
Not much. But there's not much to it, really.
There's not, but there may be a little bit more than what, I mean, not that what, they're not hiding it or anything, but it's kind of, I don't know. There's a news report, but it doesn't really get into it, so I didn't even pull it. So at first, like I said, I was like, yay, but after looking at it, not so much, because here's some details. On April 15th, LaManna and Baylor drove more than an hour outside of their jurisdiction to 3 different Cincinnati public school buildings for wellness checks on students, Superintendent Shauna Murphy has said. So these officers are claiming they were acting on ICE authority, according to Murphy. So then I was like, well, wait a minute. So you drove like an hour and a half. So there's a lot of things here. That means ICE probably tried and looked at the locals and worked their way out. I'm assuming they didn't start from, 40 miles away or 50 miles away. That's how far away from the city of Cincinnati they had to get before they had somebody that said, oh yeah, I'll check this out. But then again, if I'm the school and some police, probably from a place we maybe never heard of before, Gratis Village.
Uh-huh.
So, but the officers were not allowed to see any students. The village put both administrators on leave. The one officer resigned, and the other one was fired by the city council.
I wonder if they were like out drinking and just like, hey, you know what? We need to hit the schools, man. That's where all the illegals are.
They were out with ICE.
What made him decide to do this?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's not that big of a story until you start. It seems like at first I was like, oh, well, at least somebody's trekking on them. Maybe not the greatest way to do it, but not a bad. I mean, if you're legal and you're enrolling your kids in the school, first of all, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things on my tax dollars and all that stuff. But maybe that's one way to find these people. But you got to work with the school, I think. And if the school's not willing to work with you, then I'm sorry, I guess. Because as a parent, I'm like, you're not just going to let anybody with a badge in school, are you? No. No, you need like warrants and stuff, unfortunately. So maybe ICE is a little, it's kind of a little shady there. ICE. I don't think you need to be looking.
I'm telling you, man, they were out drinking, talking about this.
Yeah, I think the ICE guy took him out for drinks, got him drunk. No idea. So that was a weird one. So I figured we'd keep that one in there. Next, I really just is climate activists. Climate activists, Tom. Oh my gosh, they marched.
They marched.
They marched. I just want to before I forget, gotta have the warning. Sarah Donaldson warning. Sarah Donaldson warning. Yeah, this is really just to make fun of Sarah Donaldson.
Some vocal fry going on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of vocal fries. So I did warn you. So you have been warned. Let's listen to climate activist from Sarah. And we may notice what's obvious when we talk about any protests from the left.
About 24 hikers trekked 104 miles from southeast Ohio to central Ohio the last 2 weeks. Under the sun and through bouts of rain, the Great Ohio Climate March journeyed from Athens to Salt Fork State Park in Cambridge to Ohio State House in downtown Columbus. Third Act, which organizes mostly older environmentalists, led the march.
The legislation is not so friendly right now in the state of Ohio or federally, but we wanted to look at what we could actually do.
That was Mary Beth Naeem, Third Act Ohio co-facilitator. Naeem says the route was determined some by the location of oil and gas wells, including those under state lands. The activists met with scientists and naturalists along the route and finished with lawmakers. Sarah Donaldson at the Ohio Public Radio Statehouse News Bureau.
Oof, that was rough at the end. Yeah. So we had to, it's not very favorable for us. So we had to figure out what we could do. So we hiked for a little while. For the older, they mainly organize older people. Yeah, that's because that's all you can really organize.
That older lady had natural vocal fry.
Yes, she did. This next one, man. I'm glad. I guess I picked the right park to go to last week because, well, man accused of depantsing Cedar Point guest entered park illegally. Police say. Well, let's listen to. But there's a twist. That's maybe not the best way to put it, but there's a twist. Let's listen to Fox 8. This is the Gaelic duo on Cedar Point depantsing. And man, I bet this kid's pretty pissed that he did this. Pretty kind of, his parents are probably. Listen. It's in a world of hurt now.
Sandusky police hurry to the parking lot of Cedar Point.
Security had been chasing a man after getting a report from a transgender female. The report said a man had come up from behind and pulled down the victim's skirt.
We just had a guest get tased by one of the SPD officers in reference to an assault. They are in the very front of the lot.
We observed the suspect running across the parking lot where he was resisted his arrest.
Sandusky police tell us the incident happened last Tuesday.
And a report shows the victim believes the suspect did what he did because of sexual orientation.
We don't know his intent. Again, we just responded, did what we had to do. We treat everyone with dignity and respect no matter what. If you break the law, we respond and do what we have to as part of our job.
The police report shows that the incident was captured on video and that the incident happened around a large group, which included children.
Now, the suspect faces a charge of public indecency for pulling down the victim's clothing, plus more charges for resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and obstructing official business.
Resisted his arrest, didn't listen to commands, and was taken into custody for what he did.
Marquez Williams taken to be checked out at the hospital, then taken to the Erie County Jail.
The case just starting to move through court. Williams released from jail after posting a $250 bond. In Sandusky, Peggy Gallick.
Ed Gallick, Fox 8, I-Team.
I guess I picked the right park to go to this last week.
I think that would have been funny.
Oh, yeah,
everybody starts pointing at them and saying, cock and balls, cock and balls, cock and balls.
My question is, would this have made the news if it wasn't a tranny? I don't know. I mean, they did tase the dude.
Yeah, but he would have never done it if it wasn't a tranny.
True, but I mean, that pantsing is.
I have a feeling it wasn't a random pantsing.
Oh no, it definitely wasn't random. Because he's a dude trying to be a chick. Where does he go to the bathroom in school?
Where does he go to bathroom in Cedar Point?
Even better point. Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually. That's a serious question. Do they have?
Yeah, that's kind of. My blood pressure just went up about 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
That's one of my fears.
Do they have separate bathrooms for them there?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, unless you go in the family bathroom. I think some of them have a family bathroom, but not everyone. And I'm not even sure how much that's prevalent in Cedar Point. I think I saw them in Kings Island a couple of times, but that's one of my. I'm not sure what I would do if I'm standing there. Now
Cedar Point. I think of it, man, my wife and I, for the first time in, I don't know, a decade, probably went to the local mall here. And I counted 3 of these walking around the mall, and it wasn't a busy day. So where do they go to the bathroom?
So as a father, and I see my daughter go in the bathroom and then see some dude in a dress going after her, what am I supposed to do?
Pants them. De-pants them.
De-pants them, yes. Pantsing, it's not, it's, yeah, that's de-pantsing. It's pants. They got pants. That's stupid. Come on. Yeah, so what do I do? And that's one of the things I remember my daughter years ago was, she was like, well, wait, why, what's the, people got, because she was 12 or something like that, 11. She's like, well, what people are going to do? I'm like, okay, so what happens if we're at Target and you go to the bathroom and then guy in a dress with a beard follows you in afterwards? What am I supposed to do? She goes, oh. Like yeah. I was like, yeah, that kind of solidified it for her. Like, yeah, I get it, but geez, that's, so yeah. Now I've got to keep an eye out for that. Do I go in the women's bathroom? I mean, if he can, why the hell can't I? Man, that's a good question. All right. Move along. Be careful. Be careful who you pants. Damn it. See, they got me already. Be careful who you pants.
I think pantsing is different.
Is it?
I'm trying to think of when I was in school. What do they call it when you pants
them? I call it pants. You got pants.
Okay.
Pants. I don't remember calling it de-pantsing. Technically correct, de-pantsing. But de-pantsing. There we go. Click that one off. Okay, I don't know where I was going. Next one, we'll wrap up the main segment with this one. Have you been noticing the increase in e-bikes?
Yes.
What is your opinion on the increase in e-bikes?
I think fatties should just ride a bike.
That is, yes. But do they remind you of anything that was similar than when we were kids?
Mopeds.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a moped wasn't as, I guess a moped wasn't as nimble as a e-bike is.
Yeah. I mean, acceleration, all that stuff. These will go faster than a moped.
I could jump a curb with an e-bike. I can't do that with the
moped. The weight of they're lighter. Yeah, true. So they're actually more. Go ahead.
I think they're more like a bike than a moped. Bicycle.
Oh, I see them as. Worse is not the right way, but my point here. So here's the story, people. Twinsburg moves to curb fast riding e-bikes.
They're coming for our bikes.
With new safety measures, Tom. Well, we're going to listen to the safety measures, but first I want to know, as you listen to this clip here, see if you can figure out who this woman in the interview, who she probably voted for. So here you go. Twinsburg e-bikes.
The city of Twinsburg is making some big safety changes when it comes to e-bikes. News 5's Remy Murray explains what you can expect and how it could affect everybody.
If you're thinking about riding an electric bike around Twinsburg, there are some new rules you may want to keep in mind before you head out.
As summer approaches, Claudia Lillibridge says she's ready to get outside and explore her community. But Lillibridge worries some e-bikers could make her experience less enjoyable.
We had a relatively bad accident recently on the right up the street here, and I'm just concerned the kids are going a little bit too fast. Drivers can't accommodate them.
Because of concerns from people like Lillibridge, Twinsburg City Council put new safety rules in place on Tuesday to better protect e-bike riders and everyone around them. According to the city's website, the regulations will require all bike and e-bike riders to register for free at the Twinsburg Police Department, so any recovered bikes can be returned to their owners if stolen. Other changes will put more responsibility on parents and guardians, make helmets mandatory for e-bike users under 18, and call for riders to lock their bikes or e-bikes when parked in a public place. There are also penalties for anyone who tries to register an entered stolen bike, along with new guidelines for how officers can impound a bike or e-bike and release it to the owner, parent, or guardian. If a bike or e-bike is not claimed, Twinsburg Police Department is allowed to put it up for auction.
I feel Twinsburg has always been proactive in making sure that they protect its citizens, which I find reassuring as a citizen myself.
While Twinsburg leaders work to make the city safer, a federal bill called the Safe Speeds Act is moving through the United States Congress, which we first told you about earlier this year. If passed, experts told us it would help set apart the 3 e-bike classes.
At the federal level, there is no comprehensive standard right now, so this is something that's really important.
For Twinsburg's breakdown on e-bikes, head to news5cleveland.com. In Twinsburg, I'm your Summit County reporter, Remy Murray.
This is not a federal issue, so I'm not sure. I think treating them, categorizing them, I could see as an option, because if you can go 25 miles an hour, I don't think you should be on the sidewalk.
What was the accident? They never say.
I know it was a, somewhat kind of serious sort of accident. So I'd imagine somebody bumped into somebody else. I don't know. Just listening to her, I'm thinking, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Any accident would have been a serious accident for her.
I guess like around here, if some kid is riding that on the sidewalk, that's fine. Cause you don't have many people walking, but if you're in, I'm not familiar with downtown like Twinsburg, but I imagine it's like a little bit. Would it be a little bit like downtown Medina where there's a lot of people walking?
Yeah.
Then definitely the bike shouldn't be on the sidewalk there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you just treat them as mopeds, and we used to have to put license on them, right?
No.
Why not? Moped is just almost the exact same thing, except one's electric and one's not. You don't think so?
No, because you can use it different ways. I mean, you could if you have a mountain bike that has a little electric, assist. That's
but categorizing them would be the important part. Because if you got that little thing that just assists you up
a hill. But if I bought it to go mountain biking, then I don't want to get plates for it. That's silly.
No, I'm just saying if it hits a certain category, then you need a plate for it. Because again, if you can do 25 or 30 miles an hour, you shouldn't be on the sidewalk. And technically, I don't even think you're supposed to bike on the sidewalk. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you're allowed to, but you're. Yeah. I mean, if you like I do. I go for a bike ride during lunch, and I'll ride on the sidewalk just because the bus is going by on a narrow. Yeah,
most people, a lot of people do, but you're not. Again, I don't know. It seems a motorized bike with pedals seems the same as a moped.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but
yeah, I just see them on the streets and they're flying along. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm doing 25. It's a 25, and I got to push the speed limit to pass them. So
I see,
they're closer to a motorcycle than a bicycle, in my opinion.
I guess
electric bike in a lot of ways.
I see them. Recent visit to Amish country, and there was quite a few of them.
Amish on the e-bike?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, there was a lot of them.
We've got them now.
What was it? Oh, they probably plug them into some city outlet or some solar panel thing, or
solar panel or generator or something. Yeah.
And instead of walking or taking a horse carriage or whatever, or for a while I was seeing them use those scooters, those electric scooters. And now I see them on the e-bikes. That was in Sugar Creek. I was seeing them, or somewhere out there.
We had a couple of these at one of the Airbnbs we did a couple of years ago, North Carolina. Yeah. And man, I was kept it in the low gears, and that didn't get up and go.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they're fun. Oh yeah, they're fun.
It's instant torque. I mean, it's just like a car. There's no, you rev it up, it just goes. If I didn't
have a reasonably expensive bike in the garage, I probably wouldn't look at getting one. And then I feel like even more of a fat ass riding it.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if I'm going mountain biking, I was considering it just for some of the steep hills, but I'm like, if I can't make it up the hill, then what am I doing?
Exactly. That's the whole point, is the exercise. Yeah. Yeah. The little button to get you up the hill, but
if I can't make it up, I can push it up for a tenth of a mile or something. It's not a big deal.
Find a different trail too. That's why when I first started, you got to find the flat trails and condition yourself. But yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot more of them. They're really cool. I just worry.
They are neat.
It's a safety issue, Tom. It's all about the safety. So you got to register it.
Yeah, they're coming for your bikes. You got to register it. Pretty soon there's going to be like a buyback system. So,
no. No, if they find it and impound it after a certain amount of time, they can sell it, and the city can make some money. I'm sure they're not making a mint off of selling e-bikes, but
might be a nice way to get an e-bike.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's one of them impound things that they're one of them impound deals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was their safety measures. Helmet. Okay. Register, and then they could impound it, and then they gave the city instructions on how they can sell them. And they're going to hold parents and guardians more responsible, but they didn't say how. How are you going to do that? Okay. So there's that.
It's enough.
Yeah. Moving along, and I guess we're to the good thing.
We bring good things to life.
Very unfortunate coincidence that I inserted this story in this morning, because Cedar Point, a new festival and comedy shows, Cedar Point's Barrels and Bites.
They have a depantsing feature also.
Yes, they do. So the comedy show, maybe just in the middle of the fairway sometimes. You see some, Franks and Beans. Yeah, they got the Barrels and Bites Festival at Cedar Point. Go check it out. They have their generally crappy food at the amusement park gets a slight bump up to less crappy food. But it's cool. Sometimes they have some good stuff there. I've been there a couple times. But the good thing is they probably have some different kinds of beer. That's the more important thing. Nothing like getting all drunk and going on, the Raptor or something.
Nice.
Or, oddly enough, at Six Flags or at the Kings Island, that's where I was at. I've never seen my daughter laugh so hard than after we got off the Beast. And then I realized why she was laughing so hard. It's because all the pain I was going through on the Beast, because that's a wooden coaster. That's where she was laughing. Great coaster, but a little bit rough. Anyway, so go check out Kings Island, or Kings Island has one too, actually, going on at the same time. So the weekends, I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they have these things where they have a little section of food and stuff. Check it out. Different brewers, different bites, and watch out for the Franks and Beans. Moving along on the good things is check out. We got a little link here for Cleveland Zoology Society. It has a membership benefits for Cleveland Metro Park Zoo seasons passes. If you've got you and a couple of kids, you're going to the zoo. Of course, not on Mondays, because never go on Mondays. That's a free day. You're doing you and a couple of kids a couple times a year. Spending $250 on a family pass probably be worth it. No, I can't remember how much it is to get in. It's $20.
You get 2 adults, 6 children, and 2 guests.
2 guests, yeah. So you can bring a couple of your kids' friends, or just pretend that they're your kids. And
you could bring the grandparents.
Yeah, grandparents too. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Check it out. The zoo is a great gem. Everybody's asking, did you go to Cincinnati Zoo? No, I didn't. The zoo wasn't on my top 10 list to see things when I go to Cincinnati's, but because we have such a great zoo here, so I can't imagine it'd be all that much better, but it might be nice. But check it out. Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. I'll stop rambling, because we're going to end the show on that note. I don't know. I think that's it. On that, yes, we'll end the show. I'll stop talking, go back to bed, and heal up for next week. We appreciate you listening. Share the show. crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Send us your shenanigans. Send us your feedback. Appreciate you listening. crookedrivercast.com. Check out the blog. Show drops on Monday morning. We thank you for listening. Talk to you next week.
Peace.